I have gone through so many changes in the past 3 months since being away from YouTube. Beginning my journey with chronic illness last year has reshaped my priorities, altered my mental perspective on life, and pushed me to connect with myself in ways I never had before. To say that these past few months, or rather, this past year and 2 months since I began dealing with TSW have been easy would be the farthest thing from the truth. This has undoubtedly been the most challenging year of my entire life. I often find myself riding waves of emotions that are strongly influenced by my physical condition, my mental health, and the various aspects of life. It's been a roller coaster ride. I kept trying to come back to creating, come back to a seemingly normal life that never seemed to return. I'll admit, I'm a bit nervous about entering a new up/peak phase because of this fear of crashing down again, which is what makes this healing journey just so scary. Like, when will all of this just be fully over? No more flare-ups, no more TSW, no skin problems. But what does crashing down really even mean? Is it taking a break? Is it stepping away for some time? Is it shifting priorities? The problem I face is that I've just placed an immense amount of pressure on myself to maintain this consistency. Sometimes, or most times, I catch myself comparing my current self to a younger version of me who didn't have to deal with TSW and seemed to have it more together from an outside perspective. But that comparison is completely unfair to who I am today. And the person that I am right now is still me, still an ever-evolving and changing human who strives to want to be consistent on this platform that has changed her life in so many ways. And yeah, she's quote-unquote coming back. Consistency is just gonna look like whatever feels good to her, and that's okay. And I'm happy with that. Whoa, need a snack. Alright, let's do this thing. If you guys haven't been able to tell yet, I'm using my Canon M50 camera, but I recently purchased a new lens, so it's wide angle. You're seeing more of my background. Camera's usually like this. So, whee! But hi, it's been a while, and I wanted to just catch you guys up on so many things going on with life. I hate the term like I'm back because, bro, I've done so many of those videos at this point. It's just so hard to define my definition of consistency and what that looks like for me. For those of you guys who are new to my channel, hi, my name is Jada. I'm a 20-something multi-creative that was based in LA, but I recently, in December of last year, moved back to my hometown to heal from my condition, my skin condition called TSW. And if you guys don't know what TSW is, I will link the video. Jeez, I literally haven't been doing this in so long. On one of these sides, I will link the video so that you guys can know what it's all about. Apologies for the fluctuation in lighting. It's just that time of the day. There's an uprising trend in people who are starting to go through TSW, which absolutely sucks to see. It breaks my heart. If I can be that outlet and just someone that people can rely to for constant inspiration or just healing journey tips, I want to do that. I think the last time that I came back to YouTube, it was more so because of this feeling of like feeling more confident again. But in the past 3 months of my life since being off of YouTube, there was a lot going on in my life, but it was something that I had to go through that was extremely difficult, and it caused my skin to just go through another huge flare again. So whether or not if I would be more healed than I would have if I didn't go through that experience, I wouldn't be able to know, because all I know is me going through that experience and having another huge flare-up. But it still is painful and uncomfortable at times, but I can, for the most part, push through. That's kind of where I'm at in my healing journey. And we're, like I said, 1 year and 2 months into TSW. It's just such a long process, but I am holding out, I'm sticking through, and I hope all of you TSW warriors are as well. Or if you just follow me for other creative things, hi, I will be back doing that stuff as well. This healing journey has just been such a huge part of my life, and I think that was also a really scary part of coming back to YouTube, which is not doing this condition justice, whatever the fuck that means. Like I said, I feel like doing this condition service through YouTube was kind of hard to do. I kind of wanted to just return back to like my lifestyle content. I want to create content now with just the intention of sharing more about this condition as well as my lifestyle. This condition is just too important to just graze over, and I just didn't want to come back onto the internet like fully healed one day, and then it's just like that whole chapter of my life is just where did it go? Like, it was so impactful, transformational. Last time coming back to YouTube and starting to vlog again and getting back into my routine, I felt nervous like being near cameras again, because again, such a vulnerable thing to be going through, and then being a content creator on top of it and trying to show some of this condition, but not also being able to fully show like the depths of this condition, you know? It's just so much deeper than what you see online. I want to start YouTube again with the intentions of sharing more about TSW, because I think it's just something that's so important to talk about, and just to show you guys a lifestyle of someone that you might not normally watch on the internet. I've been rambling already for 7 minutes. Okay, not too bad, Jada. You're doing great. I wanted to just give you guys some updates on life. Chris and I, and if you guys don't know who Chris is my partner. I did a whole in-depth podcast episode with him about how we met, our story, all that stuff. So if you guys want to check that out, you can. But we came back home to Charlotte to heal for my skin condition, as well as his father. He unfortunately got diagnosed with cancer, but is now miraculously healed. So there's just been, like I said, a lot going on, things that didn't even deal with me that Chris also had to come home. So it just made sense for us to move out of Los Angeles to come back home. It was just the worst moving process ever. Like, feel free to check that out too, but that was terrible. I say all this to say we were planning to go back to LA a couple months ago. There was just this deep pit in our like stomach that like we were just scared, honestly. Scared is the best way to explain it. We have this app called Trusted House Sitters where we were starting to like dog sit, pet sit in exchange for like free stays. And we were going to be able to stay at a place for free to just watch a dog in like a 3-bedroom house. We were so excited but scared. We ended up having to cancel that and repivot our lives for a bit and just recover from all of the craziness that was happening. So we decided to stay in Charlotte. We started talking to each other about what we think life could look like here in Charlotte, even if it's for the next year, just for my condition to like stabilize, because as we saw, a huge stressful event can just like cause my skin to go bazonkers. And so we were just so scared of just the uncertainty of my condition. I'm still scared about the uncertainty of my condition. This is just how TSW is. You just have to keep going through the flares until it's over. But I do see myself getting stronger. Every time that I go through a flare, my skin just heals so much faster than it did when I was started going through TSW a long time ago. These are amazing. Like, they're so good. I shit you not. Chris and I debated going back to Charlotte, LA, going back to Charlotte, LA, going back to Charlotte, LA. Like, a million times. Like, that is not even an understatement. I feel like every other week, every other day, it was just a new answer. When we finally decided to stay here in Charlotte, a conversation that Chris and I ended up like coming up. He kind of just explained to me how he wasn't really interested in acting anymore. He didn't really see his life going back to LA. He just didn't really see it. And something inside of me just like flipped off. I just couldn't understand how two young 20-somethings who had already moved to LA, had done the whole thing, lived together, made it work, why those two people were just so scared to do it again. If you guys don't know, Chris is an actor. He's one of the most talented actors that I know, and I just want the world to see his art. Like, I just want him to be able to have the chance to share it. Chris ended up graduating college when I started going through TSW, so about the time when he was supposed to start being able to audition, get headshots, start submitting himself, whatever. We both became hermits for the entire summer of 2022, and he just took care of me, and for that I am eternally grateful for. But just parts of me just feels like he wasn't able to really get his shot in LA, so that was one big reason as to why I was like, we need to go back. Spoiler alert, we are now officially returning back to LA. I'm like trying not to be scared about it. I think I had to just really come down to the conclusion that if you're gonna do something, Jada, you're going to have to do it, and you're gonna have to do it scared. I think it's a very different mindset than we had when we were initially going to LA a couple months ago, but now it's September and months have passed by. But with that being said, it's like time is moving so fast, and I just don't even think 1 year of staying here in Charlotte would benefit us at all. If anything, I'd rather just get our lives settled back in LA. If you guys aren't familiar with the actors side of life or the entertainment industry, the actors are currently on strike, and so are the writers. So honestly, the industry is pretty much shut down, but Chris and I are both non-union actors, so it doesn't really affect us. I think this would be the perfect time to just go back, have him be established, maybe get into some acting classes, something, like just so that he's back into that creative environment again, so he knows if he wants to do it again or not. I'm not forcing him by any means, but I just think that giving him this opportunity will allow me to feel at peace knowing that like he did try, and it is something that he wants to still try. I'm also going back because staying in Charlotte was just, I realized deep down that it was just settling out of fear and settling because it felt comfortable, and by no means is that a wrong thing. If anything, I feel like if my career was something different, I might have stayed in Charlotte because it just kind of makes sense. Everything that I do requires me to kind of be in an entertainment hub, and Charlotte is just not that place. I love Charlotte for visiting, I love it for family, and if anything, I hated Charlotte growing up and kind of found my love for Charlotte as we moved back home and just like kind of settled here, but I've realized that the comfortability of staying here would have held me back. I say all of this to say, if you guys are going through anything difficult at all, and there are just so many options in the air, it will eventually become somewhat clear, and even if it doesn't become clear and you end up going with something, you will always be directed back to the path that you need to be on. And I think that that's something that I just need to understand, that there's no like wrong mistakes. Like, you just make a decision and commit to it, and once you commit to it, you can then assess from there. With that being said, I'm terrified of moving to LA, but I am very, very excited, and now I have this newfound excitement. 3 more months of being here have just given me a little bit more clarity, a little bit more direction, and in a sense of like what I really, really want to do during this next year or so, and it just didn't seem like staying in Charlotte was going to fit any of the things that we really wanted to do. So we're driving from North Carolina all the way to California, so that's going to be a crazy ride. This is where all the content comes in. That's why I knew I had to come back to YouTube sooner or later, because we had to get back onto the grind of things. Chris will be in future videos, but I felt like I just had to do this one by myself. I just want to be a creatively free like human again. I miss just being so excited about posting YouTube videos, and I go back to my younger self watching her, and she's so passionate about just like uploading something, and I miss that. I miss that version of me, and I want to tap back into that version of me. I hope you guys enjoy the content that's about to come up, and that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any content requests as far as TSW videos, healing videos, career videos, personal development videos, relationship videos, travel videos, whatever you guys want, please just comment them down below. Thank you guys so much for being so patient with me over these past couple of months. I'm so happy to be back into this new, more evolved version of myself, and I hope that you guys follow me along for this healing journey. Take care. Bye.